Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now we are back again with some Alliance War videos, and this is going to be two wars. Now we also had a war cancelled in between the one at the beginning and the one that I'll show later on, and I'm actually super happy and glad that it did, because in both of these wars I was down for a count, especially the first one. I think that was pretty much one of the worst days for me dealing with my own COVID infection. And even in the last war, which finished yesterday, even then it was just a very messy time for myself, because my girlfriend's quite ill as well with COVID, and we ended up spending most of the day yesterday in hospital and doctors, and then getting prescriptions and stuff like that. So it has been really kind of rough time, and quite happy that that war got cancelled. Kind of wish this one got cancelled as well. And I didn't want to upload this war individually because there isn't much to upload. I didn't have many fights, and the one important fight that I did have, I managed to mess up, and I did actually ended up giving away a death, which I hated myself even more for, because we ended up tying the opponents and losing on the tiebreaker. So obviously I took that very hard on myself as well. So on top of everything that was happening with the virus and infection, I also felt incredibly shit about that. But we're gonna get to it. So the first fight here is against Void. It's fairly straightforward. It's the hit counter Fury node, but you know, with Mole Man, it's gonna be very quick and easy time. The fight didn't last like anything at all. We can see that Mole Man absolutely shreds the Void here, and it's going to be over in mere seconds. The second fight was actually quite interesting, because myself and my battle group officer had forgotten that Mole Man is nor metal nor hero, and if I apply White Magneto pre-fight on Mole Man, then well, nothing happens really. He still doesn't get the passive stun, which was kind of the plan here. So that's going to take me by surprise here, because I activate the guidance boost, go in with the Mole Man, and I'm going to end up roughed up for it. But luckily, Mole Man just does so much damage so quickly that, you know, we're going to be able to finish this fight out very, very fast. Especially because I'm somewhat boosted. I have Liquid Courage, Double Edge on. And, you know, all those debuffs also mitigate the masochism. And that's not really a problem. And we're just going in there, and there's nothing to it. Nothing to this fight at all whatsoever. So now we needed to get to the next one. And the next one, the first fight, is going to be super easy and quick. There's going to be, again, nothing much to it. Kitty Pryde, I just need to get to my level 2 with Nimrod. And, you know, Nimrod's going to absolutely destroy Kitty Pryde. I'm starting with Power Start 1. I think I have some Tech Power Boost active as well. So now, whenever we do crit and she gains Prowess, then we nullify it and turn it into a shock, and one level 2, and that Kitty Pryde is absolutely dead. Nimrod absolutely destroys every single Kitty Pryde that I have encountered. Just check out that damage. From 72%, she goes down all the way to 0. And now the next fight is where I mess up. It's against Bishop, and well, again, there is no good excuse why I got KO'd in this fight. There literally is no good excuse. I get to my level 2 very easily, and, well, here I eat a little heavy attack, but it doesn't matter too much. So I go for level 2, and it does nowhere near as much damage as we did against Kitty Pryde, because Bishop has significantly higher energy resistance. And here I make the mistake where I just went in for 2 combos whilst that Incinerate from level 1 was still active, and I pretty much immediately lost like 40% health. And, well, it's not looking too pretty for me. And I just made a bad decision. I went back in when I shouldn't have. Played too aggressive. I should have dashed away, conserved my health, and kind of slow played it. I went for a level 2 here, and we can see that again it doesn't do nearly enough damage. And then I'm just gonna end up trying to get him KO'd, but he just gets the level 3. I did finish up the fight, and that was it for my contribution to this war. So that was a messy war, and I felt very bad about this war. And this last war now against NXS is, well, significantly better. I do have a few more fights here as well. I actually got my assignment kind of changed midway through. I was planning on doing this section 1 the same, but in section 2 I was meant to be on the left side. which kind of got changed in the middle of the war. I actually don't still even know exactly why, but you know, I was fine with it. There wasn't anything kind of too crazy. And this war is much kind of more controlled, even though I was still, you know, quite messed up and definitely not in a perfect place to do alliance war fighting. I ended up playing much better and also kind of more focused, because that's quite the thing when you are ill and having a fever. You no matter how much you want, you just can't think clearly. And ideally, I wouldn't have wanted to fight then at all, but obviously you have to, because alliance wars on schedule and you can't just randomly sit a war out. And you know, it sucks. I really feel like I let my team down with that one. But luckily, this war went quite fine. And this is the strike counter, no, hit count. Well, the one where opponents get a lot of furies up based on my combos. So with Thing, you obviously completely ignore that node. You actually want them to have as many fury effects as you can, because with that, you know, every time they touch you, but literally they trigger protection, and you're basically immortal. and that's just about it. So we're at 90% health here. I don't think my health is going to dip like much, if at all, below that. And because of slow your roll offensive tactic, if you alternate combos with Thing, you can stack those wither debuffs, I think how they're called. And I'm kind of trying to use them to mitigate Red Goblin's healing here a bit. But obviously using Thing against Red Goblin always quite annoying, because it's going to be a long fight. It's going to be a long fight. And you know, not the most crazy exciting one, so I'm just gonna fast forward through this one. Nothing too special here. The next fight is actually Weapon X, Wolverine, and against that, I wasn't too stressed or worried about it either. I boosted up properly, so I activated my tech boosts. I'm using Power Start 1 boost, and the plan is basically just to get to a level 2, and with that, I should be able to cycle level 2s back to back. So key aspect here is I need to know when he's going to go unblockable and unstoppable. So I did end up actually getting clipped there, but that's not the biggest deal. And here I just use special 2 as he dashes in at me. And we can see that that does a ton of damage. I'm going for another level 2. And since we connected both special 2s, that fight ended up very quickly. So Warlock is a great counter for that Weapon X on this node. Now, this next fight is actually going to last forever as well. It's again strike counter Fury node, or hit counter Fury node. So, and it has Masochism active as well. Now, that Masochism actually is gonna distract me a bit initially, because I kind of forgot about slow your roll interaction with me alternating combos. And I will trigger Masochism a couple of times accidentally. Then I'm going to realize that I should be just sticking to the same combos, and I'm going to be doing that. But again, it's going to be a very basic fight. This is a bit different because I do need to be wary of Mystic Dispersion and the fact that Man-Thing obviously is putting buffs on me that eventually do expire. Even though Man-Thing can't nullify my buffs, you know, I'm still feeding the Mystic Dispersion on the Man-Thing. And if he gets to level 3 whilst I don't have protection active, you know, it could be trouble. So that is my one worry, my one concern here, that I need to keep an eye on the power bar more so than normally I would because of Mystic Dispersion. But as far as the fight itself goes, again, there isn't too much that can go wrong. I had the White Magneto pre-fight placed for me, which is again super helpful. And the entire point is just go in, do whatever combos I have to do before I need to bait out the special attack, rinse and repeat. Nothing fancy in this fight. It takes a while though. It takes a while again, because Man-Thing obviously is quite tanky. You can see that we spent 2 minutes. We have spent 3 minutes nearly. So this fight lasts about 3 minutes here with the Thing. But slowly and surely I built up the Fury buffs. Like we can see that I'm at 57 there myself, and you know, helps me do a bit more damage. So we finished that. Then I had to head up and deal with this Domino. And this Domino, the nodes have been changed here for this season, and this time around it's important to remember that I can't stun her for the first 12 seconds of the fight, which obviously is how you normally want to play Warlock against Domino, because you do want to get the infection up before you start doing, you know, your damage. And here, every time I take a hit in a block, I get a disorient debuff, which is, you know, super fun. Does more block damage to me. So it is a bit nasty, nifty fight here against Domino, but Warlock obviously is a very, very, very good Domino counter. So here I go for level 2, get plenty of power back, and the Domino there doesn't still have a full bar, so I didn't have to worry about her using special attack. And now I just need to build up to like another level 2, and I should be fine. Obviously, I have to be careful that she doesn't go lucky and start evading. But on the bright side, because I'm using a tech champion, I cannot go unlucky. So I will always be able to dex and evade Domino's attacks, well, normally. Still, I have taken quite a lot of chip damage against it, but, you know, not the end of the world. Have plenty of potions thanks to all those compensations. Now we have Havoc here on this Spite fight. And, again, Warlock is just going to handle that perfectly fine. So with Warlock, obviously, again, still the same plan. Get to level 2, and thanks to Power Boost, cycle them. And try power control best I can so he doesn't get to a level 3 due to Spite. That will be active the entire fight, because Warlock does have an armor up buff that's permanent. And this node, I feel as if it's made easier than it used to be, because it used to also have powerful from afar, and then that power gain was, you know, significantly crazier. Now with just Spite, I don't think that this fight is as bad anymore. So I got to my first level 2, and I'm nearly at another one. So again, that Havoc doesn't have too much of a chance here. It's a very good matchup, very solid fight, as long as I don't do anything absolutely crazy. You know, not gonna have much problem finishing this one out. And that Havoc goes down. And then the final fight that I have is against Kitty Pryde. And it's going to be a fairly straightforward fight. So this is the mini boss on the far right side with Limber and Brute Force. But obviously Nimrod has a perfect matchup against Kitty Pryde. So it's not going to be too rough here. I just need to get to my level 2. I think I did apply the Indestructible 3 boost, if I'm not mistaken. Just because I had used some power 1-star boosts, and I had Indestructible boost kind of spare. But again, I just get to my level 2, use one level 2 in this fight, and she's nearly down. At this point, again, I'm unstoppable, and, you know, I'm just going to finish it out whenever she gains any prowess. We're getting rid of it, and it's a very easy fight, so to speak. Just another couple of hits. And for this war, we did end up winning this war. Still, overall, I died once this season in the first 4 wars, which sucks. Again, very, very stupid death. Totally avoidable. And more importantly, very important death. So I'm not quite happy with that, but hopefully going forward for next wars, I should be, you know, better off than I was initially, and everything's gonna go well. But that is the current situation here with our wars. And yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed this war video, and if you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the good buttons. I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next